How much agave will fit inside the one oven?
There are 14 tons in capacity.
14 tons. That's a lot.
The tahona is extracting all of the honey that was produced in the cooking process.
It smells so good.
Yeah.
It smells like hot apple cider.
When the truck arrives, how many tons are in the truck?
A truck usually has 20 tons of agave. Usually in a day, we receive 25 trucks of agave.
Wow, okay.
And before anything, quality control and the lab has to come in and check that it complies with all of the requirements that Patron has. Once it's okayed, they're gonna be starting chopping the agave and they're gonna fill all of the oven.
The way they swing it, I would definitely hit myself.
Like every single job that you see here in Patron, since it's very manual training, it's really extensive. It's like 2 months of them training.
How much agave will fit inside the one oven?
There are 14 tons in capacity.
14 tons. That's a lot.
So we're gonna close the oven and then we're gonna start the cooking process. How this works is gonna be injecting water steam, and then we're gonna do periods of water steam and periods of rest, periods of water steam and periods of rest. Because they're brick ovens, they actually are really porous and they breathe. So we do lose temperature, so that's we have to keep re-injecting to ensure that inside the temperature is sustained and we have a slow cooking for the agave. Brick ovens is a part of the history of tequila, and it's also part of Patron history. This is how it's always been done, so we continue to use small brick ovens.
So then after it cools, it goes out.
Yeah, they get in the oven and they start pulling the agave out. They're gonna shred it, and then our tahonas have a capacity of 7 tons. In the ancient times, a donkey would be pulling the stone around. We don't have donkeys, but we do have 14 tahonas working at the moment. So we are the largest producer of tequila by tahona.
That's really cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It crushes to extract the liquid.
Yeah, it crushes and it's extracting all of the honey that it was produced in the cooking process.
So you refer to it as honey.
Yeah, we call it honey.
So if we taste it, it would be very sweet.
It's very, very sweet, yeah. So this is cooked agave,
This
but
is before it's crushed.
yes, it's really, really sweet. That's exactly what we want.
Wow. It's extremely sweet.
It's, yes.
Okay, so then tahona.
You've got the juice from the tahona, and
Yeah.
then it goes where?
So we're gonna be using the same fiber to absorb all of these honeys, and we're gonna send it over into our fermentation tanks. They're made out of pine wood, just again to make it very artisanal and to keep the yeast very, very happy. What we want is the yeast to convert all of the sugars that we got in the oven into alcohol.
You ferment with the fibers?
Yes, and it's gonna give it another essence to the profile that we're creating.
It smells so good.
Yeah.
It smells like hot apple cider, kind of.
Exactly, yes, it
Yeah.
almost reminds you of
amazing.
that. The fiber, it actually creates like a lid, sort of like
Cap,
a
yeah.
natural lid. So even if it's open fermentation, it sort of acts like a closed fermentation.
Oh, that's really cool.
Once it's ready, once the 72 hours have passed, they break the cap, they mix it all in, and then they're gonna be emptying through a hose in the bottom.
With the fibers.
With the fibers, yes, that's also something very important. We're gonna be doing our distillation with the fibers, which is also something very special that very few distilleries do. So basically we do 2 different distillations. So this would be the first distillation, and that would be the second one. So all the fiber gets its way to the pot still. Inside the pot still, there's a copper coil. We start to heat it up slowly, and then the vapors will start to rise up. What we want is gonna hit the sphere and go to the other side. What we don't want is gonna hit the angles or the side, and it's gonna come back down. And that way we start selecting the profile and of course removing a lot of the water that we have in there to concentrate the alcohol. We don't have any equipment that shows us the amount of alcohol there is. What he's gonna be using is that little crystal tube right there, and it's basically gonna float. And depending on the floating and the temperature that he just got, he knows exactly how much alcohol there is. What's special about how we do it is the size of the pot stills. So our pot stills are really, really small.
Small, okay.
Making such tiny batches, it requires a lot of work, but again, it's part of how Patron is done.
Thank you, Daphne.
You're welcome.
Thanks for joining us for cooking, crushing, fermentation, and distillation. Now we're off to aging and bottling.